Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wytpod. My name is Harshit, and I'm the Director of Business Alliances at Wytlabs. We are a digital agency specializing in SaaS and e-commerce SEO. And I've got Kanishka Thakur with me today. He's the co-founder and CEO at Nudge. Now, Nudge is an in-app product experience tool for consumer companies to help them activate, retain, and understand users. Now, product and growth teams can build and iterate user experience without developer bandwidth. So big welcome to your Kanesh. So happy to have you with me today.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Brilliant, buddy. Let's start with your journey. Can you share a bit more about your background and what led you to co-found Nudge?
Sure. It's been a colorful journey. I've been in the gaming space for the past 6 years now. Initially started off with playing a bit of professional Counter-Strike, Valorant, did that for a couple of years. And then started writing editorial columns. So I started writing for some columns like USA Today, Gfinity. Did that for a year, and because I always loved gaming, figured that was the best way to make money. Right? And we used to be very connected to that. And then somehow me and a bunch of my friends started and launched like a website and a mobile app, which was Klutchh, which was like a esports fantasy platform. So think of it like a Dream 11 for esports, right? Where we used to cover Counter-Strike, Valorant, PUBG, Free Fire, all these kinds of different kinds of esports titles. And you can create your own dream team and then win money based on how these players have performed. So we launched that, went live with that, and that was sort of a side project for us. And we were like 1,000 users in a month, and we figured out, hey, this actually works, and a lot of people are actually sticky to it. And somehow from there, we managed to raise a bit of smaller funds from a fund called Grad Capital, and they funded us $25,000. And then things started becoming serious, and we started doing this full time, built out a new mobile app, and then launched. And in 6 months, we had around 50,000 users. So we're growing pretty fast. We realized that esports fantasy is relatively super niche, and few of our most popular games, which were PUBG Mobile, Free Fire, I think got banned in 2023 September, October, and those were our most popular titles, right?
Uh-huh.
So what we realized was, even though there were a lot of gaming esports users, people were not willing enough to pay. Right? So what struck out to us was our D30 retention rate was close to 42%, and we
Uh-huh.
had a lot of stickiness in terms of people spending more time. And because we had built so much of engagement stuff, which was streaks, challenges, leaderboards, stuff like that. And it took us a while to build that. It was like 2 to 2.5 months to build that. When we were pivoting, our initial thesis was, can we build out a tool which could help product and marketing teams control user journeys and launch out different kinds of experiences? And yes, that's how we started to build Nudge. It's been a year now that's we've been live and we've been building and going pretty.
Brilliant, man. And your user base for Clutch was again like fascinating. 50,000 in a short span of time. Your particular strategy really stuck out, help you reach to a good number of user base.
So I think for us, what really worked was our communities were super strong. Like communities on Discord, WhatsApp, Reddit, Instagram. We got a lot of customers and users from our Discord channel and our Instagram page. We used to make these smaller groups, give out different kinds of tournaments. A lot of people should come from there. A referral was a big part. Like people would invite their friends. One of our customers had around 120 referrals. So the pull from that was super strong. So we figured out that community and distribution, I think, was the core part of what we were doing there. And I think that really worked out for us.
That's actually brilliant. Community management and community marketing is one of the most overlooked strategy. It works brilliantly, but people talk about so many things, in SaaS industry, paid ads, SEO, whatnot, but uh, not really much focused on the community building and the marketing on that front. But yeah, at least I hope after watching this, people become more serious about it. But yeah, it really works. I've seen it work in
Yeah.
some of the other SaaS companies as well. It's brilliant strategy. All right, let's talk about Nudge. Some of the core features, if you can highlight those about
Yeah.
the platform and how do they help basically consumer companies activate, retain, and understand users. Something.
So now we've become like a UX infra for consumer companies that we usually say. So now they can build any kind of user experience inside the app and web. So that could be rewards, gamification, nudges, tooltips, surveys, everything inside the user journey. So think of it like this way, right? Like whenever you open a Zomato, you might get an onboarding tool. Then you
Mhm.
might get a spotlight section on the biryani section. And then whenever you click add to cart, you might get a 10% scratch card. As soon as you order, you might get an NPS survey. Now, this is one flow that you've built out. Can you build 10 million flows if you have 10 million users and you want to personalize that without relying on engineering teams? And what we realized was this was a core value proposition of us where people not just buy us for, hey, can we build out like a specific feature? And we're not doing a feature battle there, but can people build out different kinds of journeys and flows and then personalize it based on their user behavior, preferences, intent, if they want to increase their average order value, if they want to increase their monthly transactions. And that's what we primarily do. And right now we have a bunch of great customers. We are just going live with Big Basket tomorrow, one of our customers. And right now we have Big Basket, Tata, Klutchh, Apna Club, Jai Kisan, Senta, Stimular, these guys. And yeah, we've been growing super fast and putting customers very fast. And it's been good.
That was brilliant, Marty. Let's talk about some other core USPs of the platform. What really sets Nudge apart from other competitors in the market?
Right. So a bunch of things, right? So one of the things that we do is all of our experiences are native experiences. So everything is in real time. We do all of our experiences render in less than 50 milliseconds, right? So everything is real time. Nothing is HTML or web view. And we exactly look like a part of your app. If you want to say like, how would it look like on a big basket, it would look like that big basket has probably put it and developed it in-house, right? That's one part. Second is it takes around 30 minutes to an hour to integrate our SDKs. So it's a one-time SDK integration approach with the dev teams. And once you've integrated, any kind of experiences that you want to launch, you don't want an app store or a Play Store update. So you don't have to go back to your tech teams, figure out what the sprint cycle is, figure out a way to actually put it in the sprint cycle, go for a release, and then push it out. You can launch hundreds of experiments throughout the user journeys to actually push out your different kinds of KPIs. So yeah, we're pretty fast in terms of how we integrate and everything is native.
Okay. Right. Can you provide some of the examples where Nudge has really made like a big impact on any one of your favorite customers?
Yeah. So I think one of our first customers is Apna Club, right? And then they're a wholesale retailer, close to 500,000 users. And they wanted to increase their average order values whenever someone is ordering inside their app, right? And what they did was they introduced event-based challenges. So they added different kinds of tasks like add X category of items, add items up to 1,999, right? And whenever you used to do that, based on the ticket sizes that they have, they used to give like 5%, 10%, 15% scratch cards. And once that is done, they used to redirect them into a different kind of journey using nudges, right? So what they did was their average order value increased around 8% because of that. And on a wholesale retailer where your frequencies are twice every month, that's an insane amount of average order value. And then they start doing a bunch of things in terms of surveys, everything. Then we have a bunch of other customers, which is Centa, which is an edtech platform. And they have also seen a lot of increase in their D7 retention rates in terms of activation of their users whenever they complete, like in terms of the completion of the course or they're actually doing. They recently went live with one of our features, which is streaks. And I think one of their users had around 120 days of streaks. And I had messaged them saying that, hey, streaks have actually made me change my habit behaviors in terms of my daily routine, right? So yeah, we've seen like a bunch of things work in terms of the entire tech stack. And now people are looking at as how can we build more personalized user journeys across platforms so that people think that, hey, can we build more personalized UX and can Harshit have a different kinds of UX when he's using a Zomato or a Swiggy or a Zepto, right? And then yeah, that's what we enable them to do.
Oh, brilliant, man. Okay, let's talk about marketing. How do you approach marketing at Nudge? What specific strategies, what specific channels have been like most fruitful for you?
I think we were a very lean team. We right now have a team of 9 people. Out of that, 8 people are engineers. I only have, I have another, me and Gaurav, who's my co-founder. Gaurav handles the product and tech, and I handle the sales and the marketing. But I only have one person, Sachi, who heads the marketing with me. And what we primarily did was initially when we launched was we didn't build out the product and then start selling it. It was the other way around, where I spoke to customers, tried to sell them what we were doing, and then got a customer and then started building it and then productized it on a larger level. What worked for us in terms of, I think, in the past 8, 9 months is product hunt has been a good lever for us. Right? So I
Okay.
think we went live on product hunt 6 months back. We came first of the day, second of the week. We had around 1,400 uploads. We had beaten Adobe on that same day. And my pipeline was full. My demo calls, my sales pipeline was around 60 calls in 2 weeks. And these had customers like GoPuff, DoorDash, Fanatics, customers like that. And then it was insane because we didn't have a lot of engineering resources to actually like cater to
Cater
all
to
this.
their
So I think
personalized
so
needs.
product hunt was great. And now what has also worked for us is we're doing a lot of content SEO in terms of articles, glossary, because it's a new category which is UX that people like we have to in some cases we have to also make them understand that this is more than just features or more than just a camping. So we've done a lot of content SEO. We've recently started doing a lot of outbound, which
Mhm.
is through email, LinkedIn, stuff like that.
Okay.
And yeah, and channel partnerships has also worked for us. We're doing a bunch of channel partnerships with very similar companies. So a lot of marketing agencies, a lot of analytics tool, a lot of omni-channel tools, right? So a lot of adjacent tools because the ICP is very same. So for them, it's like a cross-selling, like a different part through their own experiences, and that has worked for us.
Okay. What about community marketing? Why is
Uh,
that
so I
green for you?
Yeah, so I think it did work for us when we were building Klutchh, which was a consumer company, right? And for us, I think what why we haven't done that is also because our motion has always been sales led, which is top to down approach. We're not a PNG motion because we primarily sell to mobile first consumer companies. So it's not that you'll find us on Reddit thread and you will go
Mhm.
to our dev docs and get it installed on a mobile SDK because you will always have multiple gatekeepers while putting in a third party SDK on a mobile app,
Yeah.
right? That's also one of the primary reasons we've till now not explored a lot of the community side of things. But yeah, I think in the next couple of months, we have planned like a bunch of things with some product and growth communities, like some sort of collaborations, I think should be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay. And how has your extensive experience in the gaming industry basically influenced your approach, mainly to the user engagement and even the
Yeah.
retention side of things?
Yeah. I think for us, me and my co-founder both, like Gaurav was previously leading the product at Klutchh and I've been a gamer. So what our approach initially was when we started building this was, can we create habit loops inside consumer app, right? And the first feature that we had built out was just gamification, like just to share like streaks and challenges and like a reward distribution system. Like if X does Y, give him Z. Right? So you can distribute him on a larger level. And we had already seen like companies doing just that. Like companies like Talon One, who just does like loyalty systems, Yachtco, who does loyalty for D2C, are like 50, 100 million ARR companies. And we figure out that, hey, if this works for like just specific consumer companies and can create like habit loops inside their app, I think we can do more. And then we then expanded to building nudges. Can nudges help with onboarding and activation? Can surveys help you with understanding user feedback? Can you build out different kinds of stories to help them watch a story, swipe up, and go to a specific category page? So we started off with just gamification because we understood the game mechanics part of things, where
Mhm.
how do people behave, how are habit loops usually formed, right? So yeah, we started off with that, and now we've expanded to a bunch of other things.
Okay. And tell me one more thing, Kanish, because you're investing in SEO, investing in content as well. Are you niching down to some specific industries, maybe e-learning or maybe
Yeah.
because I understand there's a wide use of your solution altogether,
Yeah.
but is it something like any specific industries are your focus areas right now?
I think primarily for us, it becomes three primary industries in consumer companies also. That is, one is fintech, one is D2C e-commerce, and one is edtech. So three primary categories that we have seen in terms of our customer base coming from. And yeah, that's where we also intend to focus because for us, it has always been consumer companies which have a higher natural frequency of usage. And
Mhm.
that's more where you'll find a lot of D2C e-commerce players coming in, or a fintech company, or like an edtech company where people are coming in to learn or get courses. So three categories primarily.
Okay. It's still very broad though, considering it's a very it's a competitive market altogether.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think most of the SaaS companies struggle to even, at least at an initial stage, struggle to crack down one industry
yeah.
and then go broad. But kudos to
Yeah.
you.
So for us, it's been a lot of experimentation. This is not like we haven't been building for 3, 4 years. So for us, our data set is very small as well, right? I wouldn't say that we have 100 customers and that's where the data set lies. But for us, the data set has been well, and we've been fortunate enough to have some customers actually trusting us, and then we're finding out patterns that, hey, like we have 4 customers that are in the fintech industry. We
Hmm.
have 5 customers which are in the tech e-commerce. Right? Oh, and that's how we've picked up patterns where more like we found out more use cases. Like we found out what the key KPIs are, right? For example, on a D2C e-commerce, you will always want to increase your order value or the frequency of transactions or the number of transactions that you're doing, right? Or
Hmm.
your cart abandonment decrease in that. At tech, you will always try to increase your completion rate or your D30 rate, right? In a fintech, you would might try to increase your how many times are you depositing the money inside your account, or how frequent are you paying your bills on time? Can you incentivize on that? So we have always figured out use cases that are fitting well inside our customers and could fit well with our potential people, and then figure out, hey, we're actually getting these core 3 industries and that we're going after.
Gotcha. Have you thought of if I have to give me 5 names, like 5 clients that you want to acquire, what would that be?
I think primarily someone like a DoorDash, GoPuff, Uber, India, I would say someone like a Zomato and Swiggy, because I think they have such a vast UX, and in terms of it is they've been iterating so fast in terms of how people are changing, how consumer behavior is changed, that we would want to play like a big role in that, in terms of can we personalize it and can we iterate it on a regular basis based on how consumer behavior is ever changing, right? And can we become like a core stack of it where their product and marketing teams can iterate on a larger level throughout the user journey. So I think these 5, 6 companies.
Okay. Now, what are your future plans, like near future plans for Nudge? How do you see the product evolving in the next few years? And any upcoming feature that you're particularly excited about that you would
Uh,
like to
So,
shed some light?
so I think we've recently gone live with one of our features, which is page builder, which is
Huh?
you can customize the entire page of and the design of that entire page with adding different kinds of blocks of components, and you can design everything with our given templates, right? When we started launching a bunch of features with our customers, we realized that a lot of people would want a challenges page or a rewards page very similar to how their app looks like currently, right? And then we realized that, hey, do we need to customizely make that? So what we did was we created a page builder where you have difference of templates of how 10 streaks design would look like, or how 10 different tooltips would look like. And now you can customize everything on that in terms of the components. Do you want to
Huh?
put a countdown? Do you want to put different kinds of images, text, everything like the horizontal way? And you can do that very easily. And it would look exactly like a part of your app. And what we have done is font size was one of the major key components for like font, like it should exactly match of what the app looks like. So we've
Yeah,
now started
they're
taking
like,
that from
especially
the
when you're working with big companies, they have their brand guidelines,
exactly.
everything
So
ready.
we've now started taking that on our dashboard through the LDK integration, so that everything is very intact and it looks like exactly as a part of their app. Because our core value prop is that everything would look exactly like a part of your app and nothing would open in HTML. So you won't look like that. Hey, on an Instagram, I'm opening a link and it opens in a new window and it looks like I'm going outside the app, right? And that's what a lot of when you start opening a lot of external links on a LinkedIn, it'll start giving you like a disclaimer saying that, hey, you're going out of the LinkedIn website. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you would want to appear exactly like a part of the app or the website while still being like a third party SDK. So that's
Got
what we're trying to do with the page builder. And yeah, we've got a bunch of other things planned. I think in the next 2, 3 months, we'll be doing that. And now we're more moving towards like hyper personalization of experiences. So now
Hmm.
we'll be in the next 3 to 4 months, we'll start recommending these flows and journeys of what would these experiences look like, or what would affect an average order value in a big basket. Right? And we would start recommending these journeys and these flows inside consumer apps. Right? And so yeah, that's what we're aiming to do.
Oh, exciting stuff. All right. How do you manage work-life balance running your startup? Like at least on the initial phase, it's a bit tricky.
So I think we usually work Monday to Saturday. For us, we haven't done a specific work hours for the entire team. So everyone comes whenever their first morning stand up. And I think usually on Saturdays and Sundays, either I used to go to play futsal with my friends, a bunch of friends in Bangalore, or either I spend time playing games with my friends online. I play Valorant really, but it's mostly just on Sundays. But yeah, for me, I mean, work-life balance, I don't see it that way, because for me it is like what I do every day is very fun for me, and I'd like to do it. I hope I like to do it for the rest of my life, because life is never monotonous for me, because every day I get in the office and start speaking to people and start doing my stuff. It is everything is new in terms of sales or ops or business or anything. Speaking to customers, and that's very exciting for me.
Right, man. Okay. Can you share any of the productivity tools or any tips that you like leverage to stay organized and efficient?
So for a very, very long time, I've just maintained a sheet, like a notepad
What?
sheet in my computer, which says tomorrow. I keep,
Okay.
I keep on adding to that. But the rest of the team uses Jira and Notion to manage everything day to day. But for my personal stuff, I just maintain like sheet, which is basically just maintaining that, adding tasks to that, and then doing that. I would not be the ideal person to recommend any
No,
productivity tool.
I'm mainly like you, man. I leverage notes. So I have
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
have that open in front of me always. Like
yeah,
these are
yeah.
the things I have to check market. That's
Yeah, yeah. That's so I have a constant tomorrow list, which has been the same, which is the same file for the past 1.5 years, and I've just been keep on updating that in terms of the thing that I need to do.
fair, man. Okay. Like who are some of your mentors or role models that you would like to highlight and what positive impact had they bring to your overall career so far?
I think one person that comes to mind is Pallav Nadhani, who's been our mentor. He was the co-founder of Fusion Charts, started in 2003, had around 25,000 customers, included Apple, IBM, US, Democracy, a lot of bunch of folks, and then sold it for a very large amount. Took some time off and now has joined Presentations.ai as their co-founder. And Pallav has been like a very integral part of what we do on a regular basis. He's made me understand what it feels like to run a SaaS business and connected me to a lot of bunch of very relevant folks. I usually sit with Pallav, understand, give him an update what's happening, and then he helps me understand like what is going on towards the business, who are the right people. And he has connected me to a lot of bunch of folks, very relevant, specific to what we're solving. So he made me introduced to a lot of bunch of folks who could help me sell enterprise, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's the first time I'm doing like an enterprise selling on enterprise software, and used to understand what the playbook looks like, how to close bigger customers, right? What the sales cycle looks like, how to negotiate when you're doing a larger 1 year deal. And that's been very fun for me. Second, I would say one of our and Pallav is also one of our investors. And I think second, I would say Balakrishnan, who's the country head of Shopify, is one of our initial first investors in Klutchh. And she, along with Grad Capital, has spent a lot of time with us when we sort of pivoting from a gaming and esports app to now building like a B2B core SaaS software. And yeah, and super grateful to have people around these. And then yeah, and these are the people like are mine.
Fair, man. All right, Kanish, we're coming to an end and I would love to have a quick rapid fire with you. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. If you could use only one social media platform for the rest of your life, which would it be and why?
LinkedIn, because you get a lot of relevant people connected there.
I was expecting maybe Instagram or even Discord or Telegram. Okay. All right. What's the most bizarre marketing tactic you have ever seen work successfully?
So I think for product hunt, we did do a lot of growth experiments. So
Hmm.
we had a bunch of we had a database of users which had basically upvoted in the past 30 days to all the products in product hunt. And then we
Okay.
reached out to them manually to help us upvote. And we reached out to around 800, 900 people, and we got a bunch of 70, 80 upvotes from there. And that actually worked out because in product hunt, we were sitting for the like 5, 6 people were sitting like from the day start of the launch, we were sitting together, and then we were just till the next 24 hours completed, we started to push out our report. So I think that worked pretty well for us.
Oh, that's brilliant, man. How did you get hold of this data?
So again, a lot of hacks.
Okay. What's the weirdest place you've ever come with a brilliant idea?
Weirdest place I've come with a brilliant idea. I would say while playing football.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of ideas while playing football. And yeah, because that's where mostly I'm off work
Mm-hmm.
and not actually thinking consciously about what I have to do in my day-to-day life. And that's where I've a bunch of things that I've naturally gotten ideas of what we can actually do.
That happens. For some people, just driving, riding, or whatever. So, yeah. Okay. Now, coming to my very last question. What's your last Google search?
My last Google gamification. Yeah, so that's
Thank
my
you so
last
much.
Google.
Thank you so much, buddy. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure like viewers gonna get good value out of it. And thank you so much for sharing the wisdom, spending time, and yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.